Hello everybody and welcome back to Madden 2002 in the Bills franchise mode, and we are continuing right along, getting towards that middleweight part of our second season. And now we have some out-of-conference play here, or out-of-conference division that we play this year is the NFC North, so the first of that being the Chicago Bears. We have the Vikings, Packers, and Lions later on in the season here, but we started things off with the Bears back in Orchard Park at home, man. Finally back at home here. We had a nice little road trip in the last video that we picked up a couple big wins against the Texans and, of course, against our division rival in the Jets. So we're coming back home here, riding that high. We're feeling pretty good here. We have a not so very good Bears team in front of us. They have a lot of issues all around their roster. They really need a quarterback desperately. They're kind of making things work with Cade McNown. They have a new running back, which they've kind of been balancing between two running backs, so I don't know, they didn't really need one, but they have a nice rookie running back on the roster too that they've been using a little bit. We'll probably be seeing in this video here. The receiving core is not awful, but just last year they went 6-10, so and this year they're halfway to that win total, so we could see an 8-8 Bears team this year. Who knows? We could see a Bears team fighting for a playoff spot, fighting for the North. Who knows? Because I don't think the North is all that good this year. The Packers are typically never that good in the sim, even though in real life with Favre they're very good. So, who knows what the future holds for the Bears. But this should be an easy enough game for us to win at home. We're getting things started off close to midfield here on 1st and 10. Sammy Morris getting to the outside, breaking a tackle, and getting out in open space here. It's a foot race down the sideline. Breaks another tackle, and then he's going to get caught up by the shoestrings, but not before getting us inside the red zone. And we've been seeing that more and more, I feel, from Sammy Morris, breaking more tackles. And it'd be awesome if his, break tackle ability continues to increase and develop, man, because he would be unstoppable in that case. And speaking of unstoppable, man, Sammy Morris on the very next play, going to drag some guys with him and get to the sticks here for another first down. So Sammy Morris is doing everything on offense right now. Typical stuff here from this Bills offense, mind you. So on 1st and goal here, we're just going to give it to him to finish what he started, and he does, man. Finds a perfect hole here, and that was a great gap by our offensive line, man. We got to give the credit where it's due, man, because we're just following the tackles right now, and that's exactly what led us into the end zone. So typically we run to the outside because we don't have the great offensive line, but on that time, it helped. We were able to do it. So the first quarter comes to a close, our one touchdown being the difference maker. And here's Cade McNown doing what he does best and giving the ball to the defense here. That is interception number 8 for Cade McNown on the year, to just 11 touchdowns, to give you an idea of what the Bears have been struggling with at the quarterback position, man. It's just not been going well, we'll say. But he does have more passing touchdowns than Dilfer does this year heading into this game, so can't be super down on him. But we wouldn't do anything with the football, and the half would come and go. But Sammy Morris finally getting things kicking off in the second half, and like I said, man, the only one doing anything on offense, it's typically that man right there, because Dilfer is, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's not much else you can say. But on 3rd and 2 here, Dilfer going to drop back and try and throw for it. Finds an open target, and it's going to be caught right at about the goal line, man. They're going to mark him short, but that was right at about the goal line. I believe that was McDaniel, man. We haven't seen McDaniel hardly at all this season because the receiving course is just so deep this year. McDaniel's like the 5th or 6th guy on it. So, but he does get a catch in this game. So, and on 1st and goal here, we're going to hand it off to our big man to finish off the job here. Number 33, get in the end zone once again. And if you're keeping score, which I am, that is touchdown number 13 for Sammy Morris. 13! He's got 13 rushing touchdowns, okay? We're like halfway through the year and he's got 13 rushing touchdowns. It's ridiculous. But the Bears are finally getting some momentum here right now as McNown is able to find David Terrell for a first down completion. And now the Bears are moving with a little bit of tempo here, just getting inside the red zone, 1st and 10. McNown faking the handoff, and he's going to go to the other side of the field, and he's going to find another open target. And once again, it's David Terrell, this time by the goal line, just about gets into the end zone, but a nice tackle keeps him out. But still, we got to keep the Bears now out for another few plays here. See if we can. So on 1st and goal, McNown going to fake the handoff again, going to throw for it, wide open in the back of the end zone, and it is an open target once again. I believe that's their backup tight end, I think. I don't know, man, because they have a tight end listed here in Fred Baxter, and he has yet to catch a pass in the last 2 seasons, so I'm guessing they're using that guy instead. Wells, I'm guessing they're using him instead, so kind of weird here. But on the next drive here, and finally things completely just blow up and happen all for the Bears at once. It's a scoop and it's a score. And before we start pointing fingers here, it is not Sammy Morris on the fumble here. That is Eric Moulds on an end around who gets popped, completely popped, and it's going to be a fumble, a scoop, and a score. So now the Bears, just like that, in one quarter, have tied this game up at 14, and that's why we need a little bit more than just Sammy Morris on a couple run plays to win games, and we need Dilfer here. But now the Bears need getting a little bit more on just a couple pass plays as McNown finds an open target, and the defense overplays it. We'll see who that was who just kind of jumped on that route. Thought he could make a good play at it. And I think it was Antoine Winfield who just jumps on that route here, tries to break up the pass to Bobby Ingram, but Bobby Ingram just gets behind it. The pass gets through, and it's a touchdown. So the Bears now leading here 21-14 after we had led all game. We've seen this story before, especially last year. And now Remersma breaking a tackle and getting out into open space here. We haven't talked too much about Remersma because it's kind of similar to last year. He's got a lot of yards and a lot of receptions, but just not a lot of touchdowns. Just not finding the end zone, which, again, I'm going to blame on Dilfer. I'm not blaming on Remersma. He's like an 80-something overall tight end. It's definitely not his fault that he's not finding the end zone here. It's Dilfer got to find his guys open in the end zone. Okay, that's don't follow the logic there. Okay, believe me. I think you guys are with me. You guys know balls. You know what I'm speaking is facts right now. So, but it's a big play from Remersma. It's going to give us a chance on offense here. So 3rd and 6. Dilfer under pressure immediately has to flip it away quickly. Throws it in triple coverage. Not very good. Tries to get to Westbrook, but in triple coverage, that pass is going nowhere. He's just lucky it wasn't intercepted. But we're going to try a long field goal. Remember, I told you guys, I'm pretty sure with the Bears game, I adjusted the kicking sliders, and now Steve Christie, it's the first miss I think we've seen from Steve Christie since we started this. But it's a long field goal. He still definitely had the leg, which is kind of what I wanted, but I switched off the accuracy a little bit more because from that further back, you're probably not going to have that great of accuracy. So I had it too high because I wanted scoring. I wanted more points, but that's just not realistic. So Christie finally misses a field goal here, and now the Bears on 3rd and 9 are going to get stuffed at the line here as Jack Johnson, their rookie from Northern Iowa, gets stuffed. So now the Bears are going to get another attempt, just about as long of a field goal on 4th and 5. I guess the wind was more favorable in their odds, and that kick is good. So not only do we not inch closer to the Bears now extend to a 2-possession lead, and that just about ends the game, really, with only a minute and change left to go. But with 55 seconds, this Bills offense is still fighting here, and Bill Schroeder gets past the defense here, tries to pick off that ball, and instead it gets through, and Schroeder with the foot race gets caught by the shoestrings, and he's going to be down at about the 2 or 3 yard line. And so now we have to run the entire length of the field. Keep in mind on the clock, man. It was at 41 seconds, and we got to get everyone up to the line here to spike this ball down. We got to get Dilfer here, the center. We're still waiting on the center here, and Dilfer finally gets the spike off with 30 seconds, so we lose 11 seconds on the clock. Just trying to get back up to the line and clock it here. So we got to score quickly, and we do on 3rd and goal. Bill Schroeder finally finishes what he started. And so Dilfer with another passing touchdown, thank goodness. That is just his 5th on the year, mind you. His 5th. And Bill Schroeder finally gets his first, I believe. It's his first as a Bill, or his second. It's his second touchdown as a Bill. And so we try to get the onside kick. We don't get it, of course. And so the Bears are going to hang on and win by 3 here. So in a game that, again, we led the entire game, the Bears finally, just kind of usurp things up from under our nose. Not great. It's not a good showing at all. This is one of those games that we're going to be looking at the end of the season on the schedule. Like, dude, how did we lose this game? The Bears didn't complete a single 3rd down. Once again, our defense doing plenty to help us win here, only allowing the Bears 1 trip inside of the red zone, and still, somehow, this Bills team finds a way to lose. So something needs to be shaken up probably in the coaching staff, I would imagine. I mean, there's some questions I think you could start asking to Cliff Harris here about his composure of the team here and his readiness for this team, because it is definitely concerning, especially with Dilfer playing the way that he is. I think that's probably just a majority of the issues, though. If we're going to point some fingers here, I think the quarterback situation just needs to get better, and I'm hoping that we can hopefully target that in the draft. I don't think there's going to be a free agent quarterback that we're really going to have like a big chance at. I definitely think that it's going to be, I think it's going to really come down to drafting one and developing a quarterback. So it would be great if we had that one that I drafted last season that ended up going to Carolina because I couldn't afford to keep him on the roster. But we'll see, man. The cap's going to be a weird thing this year anyway, but we're getting way ahead of ourselves, guys. We still got more football to play, and we are in Miami now. Sunny Miami, playing the Dolphins for the first time this season here. So we're getting through all of our division games here, and finally we're playing the Dolphins. Our first of our series against the Dolphins this year is finally kicking off, and the Dolphins are reigning AFC East champs. So even in the big loaded AFC East with a good Colts team, the Dolphins still found a way to win the division and make it to the playoffs. And not just make it to the playoffs, but they made it to the AFC Championship and lost by a single point to the Broncos, who would end up winning the Super Bowl. So this is a good Dolphins team, okay? Like, this is a good Dolphins team. They have a lot of the same pieces returning, but they're in a similar position as us, man. They got a lot of great skill position stuff all around the roster, but they desperately need a quarterback. They need one. And the Dolphins have like 5 on their roster. They've got like 4 or 5. It's weird. And they're still rocking with Jay Fiedler for some reason. I don't know why, but he has not been good for them whatsoever. He's coming into this game not having a great year at all. 9 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Like, just not great. So we'll see what the Dolphins can cook up here at home. And then 3rd and 11 here, Fiedler sends one out here. Dangerous pass, but it is completed. He had 2 guys out there, but that pass is completed. Chris Chambers has been getting a little bit more involved this season. He's got 2 touchdowns on the year, something he didn't have last year. He's like 4th or 5th on their depth chart, too, in receiving. So he's a target that we might have. If we want a young receiver to kind of develop, he's a good guy that I would target. I would see if the Dolphins would part ways with him. He's only like in his 2nd year, 2nd or 3rd year, so that's a guy that I would like. And then Lamar Smith is a guy who's just been giving us fits since we started this whole freaking thing, man. He is just a beast on the ground, and he's breaking more tackles than Sammy Morris. That's why I was talking in the last game that if Sammy Morris could start breaking even more tackles, man, oh my God, the sky's the limit for that guy, because Lamar Smith is really showing us what's capable with a much more physical running back. But Fiedler gets rid of this one quickly, or throws it out, dumps it out in the flat, and I believe it's to the backup running back. And Henry Jones has to make the tackle here, but the Dolphins are now inching closer and closer to the goal line here. They're threatening to score very quickly. So our defense needs to lock in on 3rd and goal here. They have one chance to get him off, and it's open, just wide open. Just walks right in. Walking right in. And yeah, that's the backup running back again. So the Dolphins getting it done here with the backup running back. I guess, yeah, I don't know, man. I guess Lamar Smith, maybe. They're just swapping it out. I really don't know. I didn't think to check, but yeah. So the Dolphins, 1 touchdown is the difference maker after 1 quarter. Fiedler, under pressure, gets rid of it in time, and that pass is going to be caught in double coverage, mainly because we had 2 guys out there who were just kind of lost, didn't know where to look. But that's a Rondé Gadsden coming down with the football here between 2 defenders, and now the Dolphins are continuing their move inside the Bills' 30. So on 2nd and 3 here, they're going to go with a pitch play, and again, a good blocking up front here. It's Lamar Smith getting into open space, and he's in the end zone for another touchdown, and the Dolphins now have really extended this lead, or kind of widened things up a bit. And there you see Lamar Smith, man, already kind of putting together a decent day. And we have not seen Sammy Morris yet today. We haven't even really seen the offense yet today, because it has just gone cold for some reason these last couple of weeks. It's a little bit concerning, concerning to see that. So we're gonna need the offense. Maybe there was such an offensive explosion between the Jets and the Texans that there's just nothing left here. I don't know. But again, the Dolphins back on offense, and Lamar Smith is again still making our defense just suffer here, as Kieran Carpenter's got to bring him down, but not before he gets inside the 20. And the Dolphins again with another prime scoring chance. And we got to figure something out, man. We got to figure something out, because we cannot stop that running back, man. Our run defense needs to lock in. So 1st and 10, and Fiedler's going to go right on back to the ground game, because why not? It keeps working, but we finally stop Lamar Smith. He is tackled well shy of the line to gain. Good coverage on that play, and maybe Cliff Harris is just getting into the DC's face like, dude, we gotta lock in. So in 3rd and 5 here, and Fiedler back to pass here, and sends it to the end zone. It's wide open, man. I believe it's Rondé Gadsden once again, just kind of mossing. Look at that, dude. Mossing at Antoine Winfield. Just crazy, man. We're just not getting the help on defense like we have been, man. The Dolphins have just completely busted this thing wide open, as it's now going to be 21-0. We haven't even seen any offensive reps from our offense, man. So everyone's got to lock in, man. This is just unacceptable. We need to lock in. The Dolphins are the only team in the East right now that I think are really in our shadow that could actually potentially take this division from us. They're off to a rough start. Okay, we're off to a good start. They're off to a rough start. But this could all change with this game right here. And now Fiedler giving us an interception here, and Newman able to come down with it. Kevin Newman able to come down with it, and now we are heading the other way with great field position. So finally we're going to get some offensive reps here. Dilfer, all day to throw. Takes all day to make a decision, and he finds an open target. I believe it was Westbrook on the corner over there, close to the pylon. Nearly punches into the end zone, but he's going to get tackled a little bit shy. So now we just need a couple yards, man. Just a couple yards, and we'll be golden, man. So 1st and goal, can we punch it in? Give it out to Sammy Morris, and he's into the end zone for touchdown number 14 on the season. And so finally, and there you can see, man, the Dolphins have completely silenced Sammy Morris in this game, and that is why we've largely been struggling. But again, we need Dilfer to play better. We just need him to play better. So 2nd and 10 here, once again, on another scoring opportunity, and now it's going to be Sammy Morris out of the backfield, and he's going to fumble the football, but it's going to get recovered out of bounds, so I think we're still going to hold on But kind of a dangerous play here from Sammy Morris to cough the football up. So now just outside the red zone, Dilfer back to pass here. Has plenty of time to throw here. Sends it that same spot on the field that he likes to throw to. And it's Bill Schroeder coming down with it with another good reception. So we are moving now. So maybe Dilfer's heard me. He's heard my complaints and he's starting to play a little bit better now. Maybe him and Cliff Harris have had some long discussions on the sidelines in between drives. But on 3rd and goal here, we're at danger of being stalled out here. And Dilfer finds, I don't know how, but he finds Bill Schroeder in the back of the end zone. Somehow that was open. I don't really think it was open, but it worked. Either way, it worked. So we'll take that here. Bill Schroeder gets his 3rd touchdown on the season. I think that now makes him the leading receiver in terms of touchdowns. But now Sammy Morris finally getting something going here, finally cooking something here, gets a little bit of an opening and brings some defenders with him. And now the Dolphins are completely falling apart here in the second half, man. We are close to evening this thing up, man. It was just one touchdown, and we have ourselves a tie football game in Miami. So we gotta figure something out, man. We gotta continue with the momentum here. We cannot let this momentum die here in the 4th quarter. We can't let the Dolphins get back into this thing. So 3rd and 10 here. We're at danger of stalling out once again. Dilfer flips this one across the middle of the field and a whole mess of players, and that pass is going absolutely nowhere, and we finally stalled out. So the Dolphins defense finally catching up, bring out Christie here to at least get us a little bit closer. The kick is up, and he can still nail that one, and it is good. So 17-21 is your score, and if we can just continue to halt the Dolphins offense here in the second half, we might have ourselves a chance to take the lead. But the Dolphins now across midfield out about the Bills' 41-yard line. Fiedler back to pass, finds a wide open target down the middle of the field. It's Rob Conrad, the fullback, who's done great things running the football for the Dolphins this season, but I guess he's also a receiving threat out of the backfield as he was just completely wide open alone in the middle of the field. So the Dolphins now with a prime opportunity to kind of really put this one away. If they can score, it'll be very difficult for us to try and get back into the game. So Fiedler looks to pass, man, finds an open target here, and he's got plenty of open space, and it's Chris Chambers getting into the end zone once again this season as he's able to just kind of rely on the feet and get him away from our defense, and that was just a good route to run, a good play to call from the Dolphins, and that's going to make things very, very difficult as we look to try and even things up here. So I don't know if we'll have the time. I don't even know if we'll have the performances from our offense to really help us out here. But we continue to fight. We just continue to fight. That's all we can really do here as Chris Chambers. We're letting guys all the way down to the depth chart. But I guess we haven't seen O.J. McDuffie or James McKnight hardly. So maybe our defense is doing their job, and we just don't have enough coverage to get Chris Chambers locked up. So he's just been kind of exposing us in a lot of different areas. So moving right along ahead here, we are down to our last opportunities here on a 3rd and 3 here, close to midfield. We got to get something moving on offense. Dilfer takes the snap back to pass here and just sails it to nobody. I don't know. There were guys standing there, and at that time I won't even blame Dilfer because we had receivers standing there watching him, and somehow no one was available to catch it. I don't know. But now we have to come out for 4th and 3rd. We got to stay on the field here, and we got to get just 3 yards. Can we get 3 yards, man? Might as well give it to the running back. But the Dolphins blow that play up completely. They were completely prepared for it. They knew where we were going, man. They absolutely knew it. They had the script, man. They had the playbook. They know it, man. They know what we're calling. But that is all she wrote, and the Dolphins are going to hang on here because they're up 11, and there's no way we were getting the ball back twice and evening back with them, and we didn't. Obviously, we didn't. So we fall short once again here. Another kind of lackluster offensive performance. A lot of different areas to kind of wag the finger, I guess, but just overall, just not good enough. Just not good enough. And we fall to 4-4 on the season after a nice win streak in the last video, kind of getting us back to where we needed to be. Things completely fall apart in this video. So, yeah, the inconsistencies really, we got to figure that out, man. Look at that, 2 and 11 on 4th and on 3rd down, and 1 for 3 on 4th down, dude. Just not good. Not good at all, man. It's frustrating to me because I've seen this team play a lot better, and I know that they're capable of playing a lot better. It's just not there. And there you see Dilfer had to throw a lot more because we could not establish the run game in this game whatsoever. And I think Dilfer played at least decently considering how much he had to throw, but still, man, just not enough to win the game. You know, just not doing enough to win the game. And you look at that, a lot of struggles on the offensive line as well in this game. Just not great. There's just a lot of stuff that's just concerning to look at as we kind of unpack this. But we've got more out of conference play here. We drop a big division game, obviously. That now evens things up in the Eastern race, kind of makes things difficult as we look ahead down the stretch of the season here. But we have the Packers, and I believe the Colts. I think I remember now. So I think we have the Packers and Colts. So hope to see you guys when we travel all the way up to Green Bay and play the Packers up in Lambeau Field.